There is a divine law that governs the universe, and it moves with precision, ensuring that justice is served. You do not need to fight battles with hatred, nor seek revenge with your own hands. The very power that created you is the power that will set things right. Today, I tell you, God will take your revenge. The universe is governed by an unchanging eternal law, the law of divine justice. Everything we think, say, or do creates an unseen force that must return to its source. This is not a belief, but a universal truth, one that has existed since the beginning of time. When someone wrongs you, betrays you, or causes you suffering, it may seem as though they have escaped justice, but in reality, they have only set into motion a force that must return to them. It does not matter whether you see it happen immediately or years later. The law works with perfect precision. What is sent out must come back. There is no escaping this truth. Many people struggle with the idea that justice is not always immediate. They ask, why do the wicked seem to prosper? But what they do not understand is that life is not just about what is seen. It is also about the unseen. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a mighty tree, so does every action take time to manifest its full consequences. A person may appear to get away with their wrongdoing, but beneath the surface, their own energy is shaping the circumstances that will lead to their downfall. The law does not operate on human timelines, but it always operates with absolute certainty. Every lie, every act of cruelty, every betrayal sets in motion an outcome that cannot be avoided. This is why you do not need to take matters into your own hands. The very force that caused the injustice will be the force that corrects it. You are not responsible for making sure someone receives their punishment. Life itself will handle it. When someone steals, they invite lack into their future. When someone deceives, they create a world where they will be deceived. And when someone causes harm, they set themselves on a path of self-destruction. The moment they chose to act wrongly, they unknowingly signed their own fate. But here is the most powerful truth. Your only job is to stand firm in faith and let the law work. You do not need to worry about how or when justice will be served. Your only role is to trust that it will be. This is not passive acceptance. This is the greatest form of power. When you rest in the certainty of divine justice, you no longer carry the burden of anger, hatred, or revenge. You rise above it, and in doing so, you shift your reality towards greater peace and abundance. Let those who harmed you deal with the consequences of their actions, while you move forward, untouched by their negativity. So, instead of asking, when will justice be served, ask yourself, how can I rise above this and trust in the higher law? Because the truth is, no one escapes the consequences of their actions. And while you may not always witness their downfall, know that it is inevitable. It is written into the very fabric of existence. God's justice is perfect. You do not have to demand it. It is already unfolding. It is easy to believe that those who harm you hold power over you. When someone betrays you, mistreats you, or acts unjustly, it may seem as though they have won. They may appear strong, untouchable, and even victorious. But this is only an illusion. No one outside of you has any real power over your destiny. Their actions may cause temporary pain, but they cannot alter the divine law that governs all things. True power does not belong to those who manipulate, deceive, or oppress. It belongs to the one who understands and aligns with the higher laws of life. What you see in the physical world is merely a reflection of unseen forces at work. Someone may seem to have control over your situation, your reputation, or even your future, but their control is temporary and fragile. The only real power in this world comes from within, from the consciousness that shapes reality. When you react with fear or anger, you give away your power, reinforcing the illusion that they are stronger than you. But the moment you recognize that the true creative force lies within you, their grip on your life begins to fade. Consider the stories of those who seemed invincible, yet eventually fell. Kings, rulers, and powerful figures who once dominated others have all faced the inevitable consequences of their actions. No empire built on deception lasts forever. No success gained through injustice endures. The power that these individuals thought they had was never real. It was borrowed, fleeting, and ultimately self-destructive. What they built on corruption will collapse under its own weight. What they gained through harm will return to them in equal measure. The moment you understand this truth, you stop fearing those who seem to have wronged you. You stop seeking revenge, because you know they have already sealed their fate. Their downfall is not in your hands, but it is certain. Meanwhile, your job is to remain unshaken, to hold on to your inner vision of justice, and to let divine law work in its own time. There is no need to fight battles that have already been won in the spiritual realm. What is meant for you cannot be taken, and what is taken unjustly will be restored in greater measure. So release the illusion that others control your life. No one has power over your destiny except the divine force that lives within you. The moment you stop believing in their authority over you, they lose their grip entirely. The tables will turn, not because you forced them to, but because that is the law of life. Hold your faith, and you will witness it unfold. Everything you experience in life is a direct reflection of your inner assumptions. The world does not happen to you, it happens through you. What you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, becomes the blueprint of your reality. If you assume that you are powerless, life will mirror that belief and bring circumstances that confirm it. If you assume that justice is already done, the universe will move in unseen ways to fulfill that assumption. Your dominant state of mind is what determines the unfolding of events in your life. Many believe that their circumstances are dictated by external forces, other people, society, fate, but this is a great misunderstanding. The truth is, your assumptions shape the external world, not the other way around. If you hold resentment and believe that you must seek revenge yourself, you are unknowingly keeping the injustice alive within you. But if you assume that divine law is already at work, that those who have wronged you are already facing the consequences, your reality will shift to reveal it. This is why it is crucial to take control of what you assume about yourself and the world. If you believe that you are a victim, life will continue to show you reasons to feel like one. If you believe that you are protected, guided, and that all things are working in your favor, life will arrange itself accordingly. The power is not in waiting for proof. The power is in believing before you see. Those who understand this secret do not beg for justice. They expect it, and because they expect it, it comes. You do not need to fight, chase, or manipulate to see justice unfold. You only need to assume it is already happening. Assume that those who wronged you have already set their own downfall in motion. Assume that everything stolen from you will be restored tenfold. Assume that you are untouchable by negativity. And watch as life reshapes itself to match your inner conviction. The external world is a shadow of your internal state. When you change within, the world must follow. So, the question is not whether justice will be served. The question is, what are you assuming right now? If you assume that God is already at work, that the law of divine justice is unfolding perfectly, then you will soon see the evidence of it. Hold on to that truth, and reality will have no choice but to reflect it. Faith is not loud. It does not argue, beg, or demand proof. It stands still, unwavering, knowing that what is unseen is more real than what is seen. When you have faith, you do not need to fight battles, nor do you need to seek revenge. You simply know that divine justice is already at work. The world may tell you that power comes from force, retaliation, or control. But true power belongs to those who trust in the unseen, in the higher law that governs all things. Faith is silent, but unstoppable. Many struggle with faith because they are attached to immediate results. They ask, why haven't I seen justice yet? Why do my enemies still seem to prosper? But faith does not operate on human timelines. It works beyond the limits of the physical world. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, divine justice unfolds in perfect timing. The delay is not a denial, it is preparation. Those who act unjustly may appear strong for a moment, but they have already set forces in motion that will lead to their own downfall. Your faith is the proof that justice is already happening, even if you cannot yet see it. To have faith is to surrender the need for control. You do not have to chase after what is already yours. You do not have to fight battles that have already been won in the spiritual realm. When you hold faith, you step into a place of power where you no longer react, you simply expect. And when you expect divine justice, life will shape itself accordingly. Your only responsibility is to remain steady, to trust without fear, and to know that everything is aligning exactly as it should. Faith is not weakness, it is the highest form of strength. It takes far more power to remain still and believe than to act out of fear or desperation. The weak seek revenge, thinking it will bring them peace. But the strong wait, and in their waiting they win. The universe bends to those who hold faith, because faith is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, between the temporary and the eternal. What you believe with conviction will become your reality. So let the world do as it pleases. Let people think they have won. Let them believe they have escaped consequences. It does not matter. Faith already knows the outcome. And when you stand firm in that knowing, you will witness something extraordinary, justice unfolding, not by your hands, but by the very law that governs all things. Hold your faith, and you will see it come to pass. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as weakness, as if letting go of resentment means allowing injustice to win. But true forgiveness is not about excusing someone's wrongdoing. It is about reclaiming your power. When you forgive, you do not deny that harm was done. You do not pretend that betrayal did not hurt. Instead, you rise above it, refusing to let the actions of others control your mind, your emotions, or your destiny. Forgiveness is not surrender. It is self-mastery. Many people believe that holding on to anger makes them strong, that their resentment will somehow punish those who wronged them. But in reality, anger is a chain that binds you to the past. The longer you hold on to it, the more you stay trapped in the very pain you seek to escape. Meanwhile, the person who hurt you may have moved on, unaware of the suffering they caused. Who then is truly in control? The one who forgives is always the one who is free. Forgiveness does not mean you trust the person again. It does not mean you allow them back into your life. It simply means you refuse to carry the burden of their actions any longer. You place the matter in the hands of divine justice, knowing that what they have done will return to them in due time. You are no longer their judge. Life itself will judge them. When you release resentment, you make space for something greater. You step out of the cycle of pain and into the flow of divine favor. People often say, I will forgive when I see justice. But the truth is, justice comes after forgiveness, not before. When you release the need for revenge, you allow the universe to work on your behalf. As long as you hold on to bitterness, you remain energetically tied to the person who hurt you. But the moment you forgive truly and completely, you sever that connection, and justice is set into motion. Forgiveness is the ultimate declaration that no one has power over you. So forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Forgive, not because they are innocent, but because you refuse to let their actions define your future. Forgive, not as a favor to them, but as a gift to yourself. And as you do, watch how life unfolds. Watch as justice is served not by your hands, but by a power far greater. Where you place your attention is what grows in your life. If you focus on the pain, the betrayal, and the injustice, you will continue to see more of it. But if you shift your focus toward your own growth, your healing, and your divine justice, life will rearrange itself to reflect that. Your mind is the soil and your focus is the seed. What you plant will grow. If you constantly replay the wrongs done to you, you keep them alive. But the moment you decide to focus on your victory instead of your wounds, everything begins to change. The mistake many people make is obsessing over their enemies, what they did, whether they are suffering, whether justice is happening fast enough. This obsession keeps them trapped in a cycle of anger and frustration. But your enemies are not worth your energy. The more you focus on them, the more you unconsciously keep yourself connected to them. The moment you take your focus off of them and place it on your own rise, their influence fades. They lose their power the second you stop thinking about them. Imagine two people in a race, one looking straight ahead, determined to win, and the other constantly looking back, worried about who is behind them. Who do you think will reach the finish line first? The one who keeps their focus forward. Life works the same way. If you keep looking back at the past, at the people who wronged you, you will slow yourself down. But if you keep your eyes on where you are going, on your healing, your success, and your divine justice, you will move faster than you ever imagined. This is why it is so important to discipline your mind. Do not let it dwell on thoughts of revenge, resentment, or injustice. Instead, train yourself to focus on the fact that you are divinely protected, that nothing can stop your rise, and that everything meant for you is still coming. The more you focus on your blessings, the more blessings will come. The more you focus on divine justice, the more justice will unfold in your life. Life is always responding to the direction of your attention. So, make a decision today. Will you focus on your pain, or will you focus on your power? Will you keep looking at what was taken, or will you turn your eyes toward what is coming? The choice is yours. But remember, whatever you focus on, you invite more of into your life. Focus on your rise, and nothing will be able to hold you back. There is a divine balance in this world, an unseen force that ensures everything falls into place exactly as it should. You do not have to manipulate, chase, or force anything. Life corrects itself. Those who have wronged you may believe they have escaped, but they have only set into motion forces they cannot control. Every action creates a ripple, and those ripples always return to their source. You do not need to lift a finger. Justice is already unfolding. It is easy to grow impatient, to wonder why those who hurt you seem to thrive. But remember, not everything is as it appears. A tree that looks strong may already be rotting from within. A person who seems untouchable may be standing on the edge of their own downfall. Life has a way of bringing everything into balance, sometimes quietly, sometimes in ways no one expects. What is stolen must be returned. What is done in darkness will be exposed in the light. This is not a human law. It is a divine law, and it cannot be broken. The most powerful thing you can do is trust the process. Do not waste your time hoping for revenge or checking to see if karma is working. The moment you release the need to see justice, it happens faster. Why? Because when you stop focusing on the problem, you allow divine forces to work freely. Your energy is no longer tangled in bitterness, and instead it moves toward your growth, your success, and your peace. Your job is not to fight. Your job is to move forward. And as you do, watch what happens. The very people who doubted you will watch you rise. The ones who thought they had control over you will lose their grip. Life will make it so that everything falls into place, not by your hands, but by a power far greater. And when that moment comes, you will not even feel the need to celebrate their downfall. Why? Because you will be too busy celebrating your own rise. By the time justice arrives, you will have already outgrown the need for it. So be still, trust. Let life handle what it was designed to handle. You do not have to chase justice. Justice is already chasing them. Watch as everything aligns, as wrongs are made right, and as you step into a future so beautiful that the past no longer matters. Stand firm in faith and let life correct itself. True victory does not come from fighting, proving yourself, or forcing justice to happen. It comes from standing in absolute faith, knowing that life itself will handle everything on your behalf. When you are wronged, your natural instinct may be to fight back, to defend yourself, or to make sure the other person suffers for what they did. But this is unnecessary. The most powerful victories in life come when you do nothing at all, except believe. The world teaches that power belongs to those who retaliate, that strength is shown through revenge. But this is an illusion. Real power is quiet. Real power does not chase, it attracts. When you understand the law of divine justice, you realize that everything is already working in your favor. You do not have to fight battles that have already been won. The moment someone wrongs you, they create their own downfall. Their own actions set their future in motion. All you have to do is step back and let life take its course. Think of how nature operates. The sun does not argue with the darkness, it simply rises. The river does not struggle to reach the ocean, it flows effortlessly. Your victory will be the same. Those who harmed you will eventually fall, not because you fought them, but because they fought against truth, against the natural order of life. Their choices have already determined their fate. Meanwhile, your only job is to keep moving forward, to keep trusting, and to watch as life lifts you higher than you ever imagined. The most powerful victories are those that require no effort. Imagine walking into a season of success, abundance, and peace, while those who opposed you watch from a distance, powerless to stop it. Imagine receiving everything that was taken from you multiplied, while those who once stood against you fade into the background. This is what happens when you let divine justice work for you. Your victory is already written. You do not need to force it. It is coming to you naturally, without struggle, without resistance. So, rest in this truth. Your success will be your answer. Your elevation will be your response. Your life will be the proof that justice has been served. And the best part? You won't even have to lift a finger. You do not need to fight. You do not need to chase justice or prove your worth. Everything that was meant for you is still yours, and everything that was taken unjustly will be returned in greater measure. The universe is already working, already shifting, already balancing the scales. Your only job is to stand firm in faith and trust that life is aligning in your favor. Let go of the need to see revenge. Let go of the urge to control the outcome. Instead, focus on your own growth, your own rise, and your own success. Your victory will not come through struggle, it will come through alignment. And when it does, it will be undeniable. So stand tall, walk forward, let those who wronged you deal with the weight of their own actions. You are above it now. And soon, when you look back, you will see that everything happened exactly as it should, not by your hands, but by a power far greater.